And welcome to the 2021 Region 9 Baseball Media Day here on ESPN Radio as well as on CEC TV. We're on campus, Jennings Building, Dixie State University. Devin Dixon, Andy Griffin, Andy Thompson, ready to go. We're going to run through all 8 Region 9 teams over the next 2 hours. At the end of our Media Day coverage, we're going to tell you who's all region and who's predicted to win the Region 9 regular season. It's going to be a lot of fun today. One slight change, we're going to get things going with Desert Hills right out of the gate. Snow Canyon will then follow the Thunder. Then it'll be Pineview, Crimson, Dixie, Hurricane, Canyon View, followed by Cedar. That is the batting order for today's Media Day coverage. Presented by Ideal Home and Paint, Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, Bucks Ace Hardware, and our friends at Sullivan Homes. Let's get right to it. Let's not waste any time. First up, the Desert Hills Thunder and first-year head coach Kevin Cave. Coach, welcome to Region 9, first and foremost, and thanks for being here with the guys. Excited to get to know you just a little bit and then give us an overall preview and outlook for the Thunder this year on the field.
All right, thanks for having us today. This is my first year coaching in St. George, first year at Desert Hills. I moved here from Oregon over the summer. Always been involved in baseball, played all my life, and played college baseball at Gonzaga, and started coaching almost immediately, and been doing it ever since. So very happy to be here in St. George and at Desert Hills.
You guys are off to a great start already this year with some preseason tournaments. Give us that preview of the team. Tell us what's really clicking right now, what's going well, and some guys to watch for on the field this year for the Thunder.
Early on, pitching's been awesome. Coach Brandon Turley's put it together for us, bullpens through the winter. So that's started off better than expected. Caden Terry and Peyton Gubler have both thrown really well. They'll be near the top of our list of starters. But some starters, we don't know exactly who they're going to be yet. So we're still working through who's going to do what. But pitching's been a good surprise. Hitting's a little bit behind where I thought it would be, but I think that's typically comes on a little later in the season, and we'll get warm.
Coach, the big story is, no baseball last year. Is there a sign of rust? I know you guys do a lot of off-season stuff, but is it hard for you guys to get in the mindset of this is real baseball again?
It may be difficult to calm down. I mean, we're just so fired up going into a baseball game that the energy's been probably my favorite part of the season so far. Energy from the fans and parents, and definitely energy from the players.
Coach, you talked about your pitching, but your bats have come alive too in the preseason. 3 times you got in double digits and twice against teams from up north, Skyview and Mountain Crest. So offense looks to be getting going here. It's
getting there, yeah. I mean, I think we have some things we can improve on offensively for sure. But we've had a couple games where we put up some hits. We only had 4 against Orem in our last game though. So there's been games where the hitting's not where we want it to be. And our goal, obviously, improve all year long, constant improvement in every area we can.
Coach, you mentioned there's some starters that are still up in the air. How tough has that been? That's a good sign, right? That you got some guys that are competing every day in practice for those starting spots.
Yeah, both in the lineup and pitching-wise. We have 2 or 3 spots that have changed almost every game. There's some certain ones, Chandler and Jackson and Caden are going to be part of the lineup. The guys that are here today, Peyton Gubler is going to be playing shortstop if he's not pitching. But there's that 7, 8, 9 in the lineup in the batting order has been different a lot, and it hasn't solidified yet by any means.
All right. Coach, as you bring these guys in, they're excited. They get to finally play baseball. It gets to count. What are some of the things that you as Coach Cave will focus on in trying to rein them in and focus on? I mean, what's your specialty, Coach?
I hope it's chemistry and attitude. I want our teams to really enjoy being together, enjoy playing baseball, and hopefully, the energy's been easy so far, but when it's not, hopefully that's something that I can bring too, is get some of that energy when it's harder to get. And I love coaching hitting. I love coaching defense in general. So those would be specialties.
What, as far as strategically, are you small ball, are you manufacturing runs, are you letting the meteor order just go for it? Tell us a little bit more about you kind of strategically as a coach.
Yeah, I think that's definitely game to game, opponent to opponent.
Sure.
And a lot of that might be feel. You get the first hitter or two on in an inning, does it feel like a big inning, or does it feel like we're going to have to tough out a run here, even if we're first and second, no outs? And so I can't say that I'd be one or the other for sure.
Kevin Cave, Thunder new coach with us here. Let's bring in the players, and we'll circle back to Coach for a couple more questions in just a minute. Again, like Coach said, Caden Terry, Jackson Turley, Chandler Reber here representing Desert Hills. And let's start with you, Chandler. You've already hit a couple moonshots. You've already committed to BYU. How excited are you for your final campaign after missing last season before you go off to college?
I'm super excited. You know, it's fun to be back, you know, with the team and playing. It's been so fun so far, so I'm excited to see how good we can get as a team, and yeah, it's been awesome.
What was the summer like for you? Did you still get a lot of games under your belt, or was that limited compared to some summers in past years because of the pandemic?
Yeah, so with COVID, I was actually able to play a lot, so I was able to, you know, get a lot of live reps, and, you know, we had a longer off season, you know, so I was able to, you know, take that opportunity and, you know, do different things. You know, training out in Arizona, kind of stayed there for the summer, and, you know, I got a lot of games in, so it's been good.
Is it nice to know that you've already committed, you've already got that college scholarship sitting there waiting for you, so you can just focus on your senior season?
I mean, it's nice, but it also, you know, motivates you to work harder. I mean, just because I'm committed and I'm not done yet, so still got things to work towards, and yeah.
How involved were you three guys in the state championship that is now 2 years old? You are technically defending champs. Caden?
You know, I wasn't as much part of that team. I only threw one game that year, but that was mainly Chandler. He was in the starting lineup that year, so.
Yeah. Jackson, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, me and Caden didn't really do much that year. I mean, we had a lot of seniors that year. We had, I think, 9 or 10 seniors mixed in with guys like Chandler and Bryker Herdsman. Years have passed. So, I mean, this team this year, it's our first varsity campaign, a lot of us. So it's exciting. But, yeah, that was mostly Chandler in that defending title.
How about Chandler? How do you remember that 2019 season?
Man, I remember it like it was yesterday. It was awesome. It was a great experience. We had a great team, and yeah, it was awesome. Excited to see how far we can get this year with our team.
Taking over, let's go to Jackson again. 2 years in between, you're carrying the torch for a state championship. Like AG said, it's obviously a weird experience to be a year removed. What do you take from kind of that program? And it's kind of new. You got a new coach, a bunch of new stuff going on, but you're obviously still trying to take over where you left off, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, one thing is that a lot of our players didn't really play. I mean, Chandler was one of the only ones that played that year, but we were all a part of it in a way. We all traveled with the team. We played on the JV or the Frosh teams that year, so we saw what it takes to go win a state championship. And like how it's a long campaign, it's a marathon.
Yeah.
And the state tournament, especially this year, it's even longer than it was in years past. So, I mean, even though we weren't on the field playing all the time, we know what it takes to win a state championship.
Jackson, what's it like having your dad help out and being around a baseball family? How much does that push you, motivate you, and help you get ready for your senior season?
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty much second nature my whole life. Like, he's always been a coach of mine, whether it was like on a travel team or just with me and him. Like, he's always coached me up. And like I said, I mean, I've been waiting for my senior year pretty much my whole life. So it's exciting.
Caden, who's really kind of taken you under their wing so far? We know, I remember watching you in the Little League Regional a couple of years ago, and I'm like, this kid's going to be something special. A lot of people that know baseball in Southern Utah know your talent level is great at a young age. But who's taken you under their wing as far as a leadership role and helped you along?
I'd say Coach Turley, Jackson's dad, over the off season, since it was extended, he got me on a throwing program, and it actually increased my velocity by 9 miles an hour in 1 year.
Wow.
So that's been huge for me. That's really helped me, and he's coached me through the process, so I'm really grateful for that.
How important is a weight room in baseball? We know in football, obviously, it's a big thing. In baseball, is it as important, or is reps in the batting cage or whatever more important, guys?
I think they balance out. Obviously, you want to be as strong, as fast as you can. You want to be the best athlete you can. And, I mean, it shows. I mean, like Chandler this last weekend hit a ball that landed on top of the house in left field. So, I mean, obviously the weight room helps there. I mean, but yeah, I mean, weight room's just as important as getting reps in the batting cage or throwing your bullpens.
Did anybody go get that souvenir?
Yeah, I went and got it.
Did you? You went and got it?
Yeah.
You got yelled at for it, but you did.
You need to go opposite field, hit one on the school now.
Got about a minute and a half left. Coaches, you hear your players talk about the upcoming season, the excitement level. What goes through your mind? You got some great kids.
Yeah, great kids. That's been probably the best part about coaching at Desert Hills is that all the kids there have been awesome. That there hasn't been a single issue with someone not being pleased with a role or not wanting to hustle or not giving effort in practices. It's been awesome. And as far as the weight room goes, I run in the mornings, run pretty early, and it's dark out typically, and I'll run by a couple of players' houses. There's been a couple of times where our guys, 5:30 in the morning, I've seen them on their way to Summit, picking each other up at their houses, going to lift first thing in the morning, because they'll get it in before practice that night. So that's the kind of commitment that I've gotten to see here.
Expectations are high for the Thunder this year, already undefeated, 7-0 on the young season in non-region play. Region play starts tomorrow night. A game we'll have live for you right here on 97.7 ESPN as they travel over to Don Lake to take on the Flyers. And we'll talk with Coach Jimson and the Flyers a little bit later on. Chandler Rever, Jackson Turley, Caden Terry, best of luck this season, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Coach, welcome to Region 9, and thanks for bringing the guys in today, and we'll see you out on the field.
Thanks for having us.
The Desert Hills Thunder, everybody, first off here in our 2021 Region 9 Baseball Media Day, but lots to get to. When we come back after a timeout, the Snow Canyon Warriors will join us next. It's all presented by Sullivan Homes and Ideal Home and Paint. We'll be right back.
I have a backpack.
请所有的同学回到座位哈。3、
Get our print career. And there's the bottom.
Does this one have more water?
Can you tell me why? Careful.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
1, 2, 3, 4. 0.52 kilograms. This graph is square.
Pretty close.
Artemisia is all the sagebrushes, but there's your needle and thread. Which one is this?
Radio Dixie 91.3. We don't play that. Nope, not that. The big fat no there. That's what we play. And stuff like that. On St. George's only alternative, Radio Dixie 91.3. Oh, and from 9 till midnight, we play this.
I need a one dance.
And this. Radio Dixie 91.3 FM.
Hey everybody, welcome back. 2021 Region 9 Baseball Media Day. That sounds so good because last year we had the Media Day and then a couple games in the season got it shut down. But we're back. Teams are already playing baseball at the yards around town, and we're excited to talk with the Snow Canyon Warriors, who are next up in our Media Day coverage, and Coach Sechrist and the fellas here. We'll get to the players, Mays Mosier, Carson Herman, Landon Fry, and Mason Strong in just a minute. But Coach, you know the drill. We want to hear from you. We want to bring us up to speed. It's been a long time since we've been talking about Warrior baseball, getting out on the field.
It's been too long, but it's great to be back, and we're glad that we go through all the protocols to be out there playing. We'll do whatever it takes. So it's been good.
Everybody knows this is a very talented team. Rumors out. It's been out for about a year and a half plus. I'm sure you're excited to see what these guys can do out on the field.
Yeah, for sure. I would have loved to have seen how far they would have got last year, and to have the opportunity to keep a lot of them around for sure has been great. only losing 2 seniors last year. But so for this group, it's good, and they haven't let us down yet in 8 games. So it's fun to watch them play. I write the lineup and go stand over there, let them do their thing.
No sprinting this year?
Oh, I sprint over
Okay.
there, but then it's my only exercise.
Give us an overall preview. Tell us about your pitching staff. Tell us about who's cracking the lineup. It's tough to get in this lineup because you got some good kids.
Yeah, for sure. We have 10 seniors on the team, and we've got a pitching staff that's doing a great job. 2 of these guys have pitched. Mays can pitch, but we haven't needed to use him yet. Mason knows them all real well, but our pitching staff has been solid for these 8 games. I think we played some pretty good competition. We've seen some pretty good bats in other lineups, but seem to be able to get them out. And, Brandon Lyons doing a great job with our pitching staff and putting the matchups in the right place. And they've been pretty tough to hit. So, and then when we put the lineup together, it's pretty solid. And I've got some guys on the bench that can swing it as well. So it is tough to crack the lineup. And right now I'm giving a lot of guys opportunities that I feel that need those right now, and everybody's really coming through. So it's only going to get tougher.
Coach, 17 years. Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Way to go. It's hanging
It's been
with
great.
it. Not too much stress, I guess, in 17 years?
No, not at all.
You talk about the mindset of the team now, having this season canceled last year. All these guys wanted to play, obviously weren't allowed to play. Are you having to rein them in? What's it like at Snow Canyon knowing, hey, finally we get to play some baseball?
Yeah, I don't rein these guys in. They're pretty loose bunch of guys that just feel like they can compete and win. And I'm just there kind of, I guess there's some things I got to pull them back on, but a lot of times I just let them do their thing and be loose and say what they want to say and do what they want to do. And, we respect the teams we're definitely playing, but at the same time, that's a great bunch of guys. I know that my son Crew, who's a 9th grader, is able to be with them, came home after the Stansbury game and said he couldn't believe what these guys were saying in the 7th inning. They were all just like calm and collected. We're down 3, and they were just like, let's go win this thing. We're going to win this thing. And we pulled that one off. So kind of made me feel good hearing that as a coach. Like I said, sit back, watch them play, let them do their things. And
Has that kind of evolved over time, Coach, where maybe earlier in your career you'd have to fire teams up more, but this group has so much experience that you can just they kind of have high expectations for themselves that you just kind of let them play, it sounds like?
Yeah, I think so. One thing my dad always taught me was that let guys play, be who they are, and then you kind of mold them as a coach what they need, but don't be too much and change. You can change your coaching style for a lot of guys. So with what they do, it's a little different than what I've done in the past, but at the same time, it's a pretty loose bunch of guys that know that they can compete and play, and I'm not one to stand in their way and say, hey, we got to do it the Reed Secrets way, because there's lots of ways to do things.
Let's bring in the players for just a second. And Mays Moser, Carson Herman, Landon Fry, Mason Strong, and Mays. All you guys, all 4 of you guys, have already locked in a college scholarship. Is that easy? Is that nice? That's out of the way, and now you can just go play ball. Mays, I'll start with you.
Yeah, it's sweet. It's nice to just know we're going, we're playing again. But it's also been really motivating. All of us get up, go to the gym. We all work hard together, work hard in the off season, and it's been really, really good and relaxing for all of us to know.
Mays is going down to Vegas to play, and Carson, you're staying here. You're going to be at Dixie State, man. Take me through the recruiting process to stay here in town.
It was fun. It was kind of long. So I was out in Arizona living with Mason this summer, just like working out and stuff. And when I finally got recruited, and so I got my offer down there, so I got to go home, tell my parents about it. So it was cool, kind of like thought about it, let it sit for a while, and I was like, this is where I want to be. Like, it's what's good for me. And so it's been fun. It's motivating. It's just like, you have a lot of other teams that kind of like, they'll talk crap to you about it during the game. So it's like motivating for you to like put in the work and just like work harder. So it's nice.
Lando, throw it up. I mean, it's been, we've known this for over a year. You're going to the U, but now your senior season's finally here. After missing last year, I know you and your teammates were pretty devastated. Take me through the last 12 plus months.
lot of sitting around, just waiting for like phone calls, what we could do, what we couldn't do. And then once we found out our season was canceled, it kind of just, from there, we kind of all just went and worked out together. I mean, we did like our own thing, like group chat, text each other, hey, let's go to the field today. And then tournaments started opening up in Arizona in the summer. And so I know a lot of us got to go to Arizona and play. And I mean, after now we're back to the season.
Do you and Mason have the same barber or no?
No.
Mace, comments on this season, and then BYU, man. We just talked to Chandler Reber with Desert Hills. He's going to BYU too. A couple Region 9 kids signing up there for the Cougs and Mike Littlewood.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited for the season and just get started and just see what happens. And then really excited to go up to BYU and just get a good, wait, what was the question again?
Just wondering about the excitement level. Obviously, you got to take care of this season, but what was that process like? What was Coach saying for you? Obviously, he wants you to be a catcher at the next level, I'm assuming.
Yeah, catcher, and I'll play some outfield too. And really excited to get down there and just do the best I can. And then this year too, just do what we can to make a good run at it and stuff.
What's it like catching the staff? You got Herman, and
they're
you
all
got
studs,
Lyon,
dude.
and you got
It's
Fry.
great. Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's just we just have known each other for such a long time, so there's like a bond that we all have that like none of us, like I don't think anybody else could have, just because we like the time we spent together and stuff. We just basically like read each other's minds and stuff, just because we played together for so long.
Guys, I got a daughter that graduated last year, but didn't graduate, obviously, with COVID-19 and everything. Do you feel like that you were robbed? I mean, is it just life and you just deal with it and move on, or are you guys kind of feeling like this sucks? When we got hosed on this one, what do you think, Mace?
I really do think we got hosed. I mean, we all worked hard last year, and we were off to a hot start. We were all looking good, so it really does suck to not be able to get a chance to try to go back to back or whatever would have happened. So you never know.
Any other thoughts, Landon?
Yeah, I mean, it was terrible what happened, but I think it kind of motivated us for this season to just be better and work harder, because you never know when it's going to get taken away from you.
For you pitchers, is there any silver lining? I mean, it's hard to probably do that, but like to have a year off in your arm, I'm sure the first time you threw live, you were just really popping, but was there any, getting that time off is there any way that you can spin a positive out of that, Karsten, at all?
I think honestly, like the time off, honestly, it might have benefited everyone, but it was the biggest benefit towards me and towards evolving my game, because like you had the chance to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And so I played a lot with the summer with like Mason and Landon and Mays and all these guys. So it was just fun. You got your innings in, and just like I was in Arizona, so it's just like you got your work done. So it's like you get out what you put in.
Yeah.
So it benefited me a lot.
Awesome. Mason, I wanted to ask you about, you've been catching for a while. You've got, Brandon Lyon as a pitching coach. You have all these studs. Like, what is the game plan going into a big region game and like pitch calls and stuff like that? How do you kind of work with the pitching coach, Coach Seacrest and those guys and the pitchers?
So Brandon, we just go through things in practice and stuff, and just go like through situations and just and honestly, it's just like kind of like there's no wrong pitch to call, I guess. It's like what you believe in the pitcher and the situation. So me and Brandon kind of walk through, like he gives me kind of like the free will, so I get to call pitches and stuff. Cool. So but we go through situations and stuff like what is probably the best pitch in that situation, like throughout the innings and stuff, and then we learn.
Oh, awesome.
Through that, yeah.
Any of these guys ever have the guts to shake you off, or they just do what you say?
All the time, dude. All the time.
Yeah. Pretty good. Right on.
Coach, what's the
Can I say something about that? He's real. I mean, he remembers hitters, what they've done. He's real smart. He can tell you what a kid, the second pitch of a bat of a guy leading off an inning, what we threw him, and so it's really nice having him there. It really is.
I want to bring back in Coach Seacrest and talk about a couple guys that aren't here. Easton Rigby, Jackson Nance, Luke Anderson. I'm hearing a lot of good things about Luke. Talk about some of the guys that aren't here that are going to help you a lot this year.
Well, yeah, I mean, Easton playing first base for us. We played him a lot at third, and he can play shortstop, and it's nice to have him at first base now, where I feel like I've got pretty much 4 shortstops on the field, on the infield. So his bat's coming around, and there's always going to be 1 or 2 guys is going to be really good for you that struggle a little bit at first. So that's going to heat up here, and when it does, and these guys are right around him, that's going to be huge. Jackson Nance has been – awesome. I mean, he's smashing. He almost hit one out the other night. Hit it about 3 inches under the scoreboard, so he needs to get in the weight room. But anyway, he's been great. I mean, we're just solid defensively, and our guys are swinging the bats real well. And one guy maybe not get the job done. The guy behind him's come up and got the job done. So if that continues, I mean, it's still real early, but if it continues I think it should, then we're going to be okay in a lot of games. But Luke Anderson, having him out in center, Isaac Lyon. We've had some great pitching performance from Josh Akins, Cam Terry. I mean, it's funny how Brandon and I talk about who's going to pitch and where and how, and obviously Karsten's got to be our guy, and we're going to go to him a lot. But at the same time, we almost didn't let him pitch this weekend, so he's ready for Cedar, which he didn't like. So he came in through 3 innings, got the win against Stansbury. So I told him, I said, I knew you'd figure out how to get a win this weekend. So
plenty of pitching sounds like a good problem to have.
It's been really good, and they've all done real well throwing strikes, and then I think they trust the guys behind them to make plays, and it's been good that way.
Reed Sechrist and the Snow Canyon Warriors, everybody. That's all the time we have, but we'll be seeing them on the field. Like Coach said, they'll be playing Cedar. Fire that game up tomorrow. First
at home
of the region season at
we
Warrior
switched it.
Stadium.
Yeah.
All right, Mays, Carson, Landon, Mason, thanks for coming in. We'll see you on the diamond. Let's take a break. We'll be back. Next up, Pineview Panthers in our 2021 Baseball Media Day.
Radio Dixie 91.3. Young the Giants, something to believe in.
John, what song do you want to hear? Next, Miss Calendris. You'll be on the SWAT team, the SWAT team. Did a fantastic situation. I talked to you. I was going to talk to you last time.
Tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream. For the soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not as they seem.
Art is long and time is fleeting, and our hearts, though stout and brave, still like muffled drums are beating, funeral marches to the grave. In the world's broad field of battle, in the bivouac of life, be not like dumb-driven cattle, be a hero in the strife.
Lives of great men all remind us that our lives can be sublime, and departing, leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. Footprints that perhaps another, sailing over life's solemn moon, a forlorn and shipwrecked brother, seeing, shall take heart again. Let us then be up and doing, with a heart for any fate. Still achieving, still pursuing, learn to labor and to wait.
Welcome back. 2021 High School Baseball Media Day here in St. George. We're on campus, Dixie State University, CEC TV studios. Devin Dixon, Andy Griffin, Andy Thompson. Appreciate our great sponsors, Ideal Home and Paint, Bucks Ace Hardware, Sullivan Homes, Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, bringing you our Media Day coverage. And next up, as promised, the Pineview Panthers are in the building. And Coach McClellan, how are you, Coach? Good to see you, man. It's been way too long. If you can start, and then we'll meet the players in just a second and bring us up to speed, give us an overall preview and outlook for the Panthers this year.
Oh man, we're just glad to be back at it. All the boys are excited to be out there. We've got plenty of talent coming in. We've just been working really hard, getting ready for the season and trying to get as many games as we can. Obviously, with the weather and the current COVID situation, we've had a lot of teams have to cancel, and so we've done the best we can, put a lot of hard work in, and trying to do everything we can to be prepared. So.
Well, I was talking about the off season. Boy, did you guys have a long off season? Like 2 years now, it seems like. What's been the attitude now? Are guys fired up, or are guys that just kind of slow getting it, or what's the attitude on the field?
No, I think they're excited. It's hard to. They're on time. They're ready to go. They want to play. as many games as we can get in, they're screaming and scratching for it. So we're trying to do as much we can. Obviously, that time's up now, and it's time to get into the region and go there. So they're excited. They're ready to play.
You guys are 6-1 right now in preseason.
Yeah.
Seems like nobody's lost yet for in Region 9. I mean, the two teams you just talked to have great records too. Tell us a little about the 7 games so far, Coach.
Actually, we came out playing pretty well. I think overall, defensively, we've been pretty solid. We struggled a little bit of plate against Wasatch the one night. Not sure. It seemed like we came out a little slow, a little sluggish. Just couldn't get it picked out, by the end of the game. But overall, they came back. We played Wasatch our last game, and we performed there. And our hitting was coming back around. And so I think the confidence is building. I think, with limited amount of games, 7 games. So they're ready to play. They want to see some really good pitching, and we know we're going to face that in Region 9. But, we're ready to go.
We'll talk to Trayton Hunter and Luke in just a minute, Coach, but give us some depth. Give us some guys that you're really excited about, maybe some newcomers. It's been so long since we've had a season, and tell us about some guys that are coming up through the ranks that are really going to help your team this year.
Okay, well, we got right here, obviously, these 3. We've also got the Roundy boys. We've got, I'll be honest, we got a band of brothers here. We've got the Roundy brothers. We've got the Iverson brothers. We've got the Becker twins. We've got the Despain boys. I mean, we got a lot of kids that are brothers in this organization, and all of them are doing really well. But really, Brock, Brandon, we've got Ian, Dylan, that are starters for us. They're perform well. They're going to continue to perform well. We've got Bridger Despain in the outfield. We've got we got a couple coming up. Byron Collison. Really fast for us. He's coming around with his hitting. He's got a little work to do, but most of the guys are pretty veteran. I mean, last year these would have been our team, really, to be honest with you. Young, but most of these kids are juniors. So obviously, we got about 6 seniors, 3 of which will be starters, but we've got Tristan Bird, who has really been working on his hitting and a big hitter. We're hoping some big things out of him. So. Yeah, we still seem fairly young because we're pretty much a lot of juniors, but we're excited. We're ready to go. Everybody's ready to play.
I always talk about experience. The only way you get experience is to get on the field, and you guys were robbed of your season last year. That's a year of experience that guys weren't getting. Is there any way to make up for that, or is it just a matter of getting out there?
To be honest with you, I think these guys were out doing as much as they could, playing whenever they could, wherever they could. A lot of them put time in the gym. A lot of them put time coming down to and hitting. Obviously, we spaced that out so the boys weren't around each other under the current rules. But as soon as the situation changed, they were together. I know a lot of these boys, again, they're very tight, very close-knit group. They are always with each other. And it doesn't matter from our seniors down to our freshmen. These guys have embraced those kids and work with them, and every opportunity they can get. As soon as we could start playing, they were playing. Luke even gave up, wrestling this year to focus on baseball, and we're grateful for that. But he was a great wrestler as well. So a lot of kids have really moved into one sport and maybe dropped that other one to kind of catch up and get ready for the season.
You win the state title, Luke. We expect you to start the dog pile at the mound. Let's meet the guys. Coach McClellan, we'll circle back to him in just a second. Pine View Panthers with us here. Trayton Hunter, Luke. Let's start with you, Trayton. You said band of brothers, all these brothers, and they get the Roundy twins and all this. But Staley, man, you don't have a brother on the team with last name Staley? How is that possible?
Yeah, no. So I had my older brother graduated in 18. He played, and so yeah, a lot of family ties. I got my 2 cousins that are coaching, Coach Kyler Walker and then Cashin Walker, my first cousin. So yeah, family blood's been at Pine View for a while. So.
How's the arm? How's the velocity? Tell us what's in the arsenal when you're on the mound.
Arm's feeling good. Yeah, I had my first outing last week. Went good. Was throwing pretty good. Was putting up some good numbers. Felt good. So had my defense behind me. I feel really comfortable with them. So a lot of good kids backing me up.
Hunter, you've been playing significant roles since you were a freshman. I remember you coming in and as a freshman pinch running and getting some pinch hits and stuff like that. Now you're a leader on this team, man.
Yeah,
excited for the season?
Yeah, good times. Like we were talking about last season, how it got, stolen from us. And personally, I didn't get started until like this last fall. So with baseball, just been working and stuff. But yeah, we're excited. The team's good. We're ready to eat. It's gonna be fun.
Good to eat. I like it. Trayton, I remember you know, a couple of years ago, skinny little sophomore. You've grown. You're still skinny, but you're a man now. First of all, who's your dad?
Robbie.
Robbie
Yep.
Staley. Okay, awesome. Do you feel like that the onus is on you not only to be a leader as a player, but a leader like emotionally for your team? Does that fall on you, or is there other guys involved with that?
Yeah, no, just you know, being committed to play at the next level. I got kids in our program that want to be there, so I feel like I got to be a leader for them and show them what it takes, because it takes a lot more than just like playing high school ball and going to practice. But so yeah, there's a lot of kids that a lot of juniors I know that want to play the next level, so I feel like I have a job to do to show them what it takes.
Luke, what's you're kind of jack of all trades, right? Where are we going to see you the most at? Do you even know right now?
I've honestly been all over the place. Like Coach Mack the other days, he was talking about me, called me the Bugs Bunny. I hop all around the field. I'll catch one game, pitch the next game, shortstop. But I'll definitely be spending most of my time catching. That's my main position, so that's where I'll be doing.
Coach, is he the most versatile guy on your team?
You know what? Yeah, I would say so. I mean, as far as Bugs Bunny goes, you know, I wish he could throw the ball, run back behind, and catch it real quick, and then if he hit, be the hitter. And yeah, he's very versatile, and he's very, very good at every position he plays. We love having him on our team.
Who's got the most power on this team, Hunter? Is it Brock or Brandon? I mean, those guys got some power.
Jeez, bro, both sets of twins got some power, but I'd probably give it to good old George right here. Trayton Staley with the most power on the offense. So I don't know, we got some pretty good kids on our team, like Coach was saying, all those brothers. They're solid, man. They're good.
Wait. Good old George. You want to explain that?
Oh, that's his nickname? That's his name, yeah.
George?
Trayton,
All right.
yeah.
All right.
What's the backstory on that? Do we have time for that?
Yeah.
That's just his real name.
That's my real name.
Oh, it is?
George Straits. We call him Jorge.
He's got a lot of names.
Do you want us to call you that on the broadcast this year, or do you prefer Trayton?
I'm good with whatever either way. But.
Trayton's a pretty cool baseball name, though.
Yeah, I like Trayton.
George is pretty cool, too. I was going to ask Luke, Region 9 is always good. It's always competitive. Where do you guys feel like you fit in coming in? I know it's been a while with the layoff and stuff like that, but I'm sure you guys think you can win it all, but it's going to be super competitive, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I definitely think Region 9 has some of the best baseball down here.
Yeah.
But I feel like Pineview is really underrated. But we're a scrappy bunch of boys, and I feel like we can hang with anybody out there. And we got a lot of talent coming into this season, and I think we'll kick some butt. So.
Awesome.
You mentioned, Coach, that Luke didn't wrestle this year, but how many multi-sport athletes do you have that play baseball and play another sport at Pineview? Do you know off the top of your head?
I'd say over half to 3/4. A lot of them play basketball. A lot of them play football. So, and we encourage it. I encourage it. I love that they want to spend their time playing baseball, but I'm a firm believer that every sport helps the other one. So,
how much is golf helping Brock and Brandon?
You know what?
Different swing.
It is a different swing, but you know what? They're still one or two of our key hitters. It's obviously, it takes discipline to focus on the ball, and they do a good job of that. So,
Becker twins have been. We were fans of theirs during the football season. Obviously, great players. How are they going to fit into everything for you? Are they going to be out on the field?
Every minute of the game,
minute.
as
Okay.
long as they can be. Yeah, Ian will be our third baseman, and Dylan will be our center fielder. And obviously, if pitching wise, they both can throw if we need them, and so we'll see where they're at.
Fun. Good.
Any other questions for Coach, guys?
I was going to ask, do you see what kind of a team offensively this year, Coach? Are you going to have to manufacture a lot of runs? It seems like you got some meat in the middle where you can have a pretty good team slugging percentage this year.
I think overall we're pretty solid with our hitting. It's just going to be, I don't think we're so much worried about timely hitting. I just think as long as they stay focused and are disciplined, they're good. They're really powerful hitters, most all of them. So I'm not really too worried about that. We'll manufacture some runs here and there because we're going to face some good good teams, and we'll have to do what we have to do to win. But I think overall we'll be the surprise of the region, I'm sure.
We'll end it on that. The surprise in the region, they'll play the Hurricane Tigers this week, a home and home, to get their Region 9 schedule started. Coach McClellan, Trayton Staley, they call him George, well, his real name's George, Hunter Stubbs, and Luke Iverson. Guys, best of luck. We'll see you out on the pitch.
Thank you.
Take a break, come back. We keep rolling. Crimson Cliffs joins us next. Stay with us.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
There's a rush coming. Can you feel it? The crowd, the kicks, the hits.
Football friend Spencer Linton.
Don't hesitate.
See the ball, baby.
If you don't know, you better call somebody. This is the Region 9 Rush. Here's your host, Andy, and that dummy robot.
Welcome back, everybody. CEC TV Studios 2021 Region 9 Baseball Media Day, live on 97.7 ESPN as well is on YouTube. So if you're listening right now on radio, want to get home, we got the link up for you on our website, sportsradio977.com. Or if you missed any of the teams that have already been with us here, you can go back and rewatch it. We've already had Snow Canyon, Desert Hills, and Pineview, and now time to talk some Mustang baseball. Justin Abbott and the Mustangs in the house. And Coach, welcome. We're excited to have you. Excited to have a season after missing last spring. And we'll start with you. And I'm going to let you introduce your guys and then give us an overall preview on the Mustangs this year.
Right here is Logan West. Logan's a junior. He'll be our center fielder. Big part this year was a big part of our early success last year. Right next to him is Matt Hafen. He's our senior, our only senior. Matt will play in the outfield, can run a little bit, is athletic. All four of these guys were picked by their teammates to be captains. And so, Matt joining us for the first time made an impact on some of those guys, and they look up to him. So, and then right next to Matt is Canyon Kutch. Canyon's a junior. He was with us last year. He will split some time at catcher, can play first base, can play outfield. Looking for Canyon to be a big part of a middle part of our lineup, and has been catching really well. So, and then there at the end is Zach Andrus. Zach's also a junior, was here with us last year. Zach has had some good at-bats, some good pinch hit roles, played a little bit of first, came in and pitched some really big innings for us last weekend. So all these guys got a lot of potential, most of all their peers and their teammates look up to them, and so it's a good group of four kids right here. So
give us an overall preview. I mean, I know we talked about it last year a little bit, and then the season got canceled, but let's talk philosophy and what you expect from your guys. You still have a relatively young team with just one senior.
Sure. Just a lot of experience coming back. We do a lot of we do a lot of things really well, and I like our group. We got a lot of young guys that can contribute in a lot of different areas. A lot of guys that play multiple positions, and a lot of guys that can get on the mound and get outs for us and throw strikes. Kind of an identity for our team is, everybody knows we're young, and that's okay. We like it that way because I feel like we're, a little bit of the underdogs, and that's okay with us. So we're excited to get started. Last year, going 5-2 in those 7 games in preseason, I liked the direction we were going in, and it got cut short, and that was frustrating because I think that these boys were ready to kind of show, what they can do. So, here we are. We're ready to roll. So,
You're a former pitcher, right, Justin?
yeah.
Is that, as a former pitcher, is that going to be a focus for you guys? Is that maybe a strength for Crimson Cliffs?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we've got to pitch it well. Region 9's tough.
Yeah.
Seeing the first couple groups to come through here and everybody else in the region, on any given night, it's going to be tough. I've got great pitching coaches in Mike Gargano and Aaron MacArthur that are doing a great job at establishing these guys and developing them and putting trust in these guys most of all, and telling these guys to go out and do their job. So we're going to have to pitch it well. We're going to have to do some other things really well too. But yeah, being a pitcher, I feel like sometimes I kind of had that mentality that, sometimes we want to DH for that pitcher, even though pitchers can hit too. But, we want to give everybody the opportunity they can. But I think it's important for so many of our young guys, especially our pitchers, to go out and just focus on that. So
my guess is the number one thing that drives you nuts the most is walks, right? Somebody that doesn't throw strikes.
it's the three pitches that start off an at bat at balls, and then they throw a strike. And I ask myself, why didn't you just do that the first time? So, but yeah, walks are a killer. We got to be able to throw strikes and trust our defense.
Size up the rest of the region, Coach. I mean, how well do people know your team? You guys are kind of still an unknown commodity to a certain extent.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, that's okay. I'm good with that. Snow Canyon's going to be tough. Dixie is scrappy. They're going to be tough. Desert Hills, it's every Tuesday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Friday night when we play. It's going to be a ball game, and we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to the grind. So.
We always talk about hitting and pitching, but what's the defense look like so far this year, Coach? Consistent, getting outs when they should, making the routine play so far?
Yeah, we Friday this last week, a few errors that kind of put us in a bad situation. But I've got four sophomores in the infield, that can play.
Wow, yeah.
Good ball players, scrappy, do good thing. I wouldn't put them there if I didn't think that they were ready for the moment. But one of them, two of them are 15 years old still, and the other two are 16. Got a couple guys mixing in at first base that are older, like Canyon and Zach can play first base, and those guys being juniors. But there's a difference between a guy who's a sophomore and a guy that's a junior, and a difference between a junior and a senior.
Sure.
And I've asked these guys to grow up quick. I've asked these guys to. They've been upperclassmen since last year. Harold Hansen was our only senior last year. And these guys were all sophomores, and I asked them to be leaders at the age of 16. I don't know how many guys get that opportunity, and I don't know how many coaches lean on those guys to do that. We were in a unique situation, and I'm glad I got these guys. So,
let's meet the players and bring them in for some questions. We can circle back to Coach Abbott in just a minute for some final questions. Logan West, Matt Hafen, Canyon Kutch, and what's your nickname? You've got all these brothers and your dad. What's your nickname, Zach?
I got a couple. My main nickname is Cheetah, though. They call me Cheetah.
Cheetah.
Yeah. I would have never guessed that would have been
Cheetah or Cheeto. Logan says Cheeto, the best on our team, though. That's what I would have to say, though. Those are my two main nicknames.
Fastest one in the family?
Something like that. You could say that.
We'll get back to Zach in a second. But Logan, before the season got shut down, you were raking last year, hitting over 500. How do you take this long layoff and keep that momentum going now that you got a few games under your belt? Here we go. Region play starts this week.
Yeah, I've just been working hard over the break, just working with my dad and just going to the cage every day and just working on simple drills, hitting off the tee, and just, even these last couple of games, it's helped me get ready for region, I think. So I think I'll be ready.
Matt, Coach said you're the newcomer on the team. How have you fit in? Who's taking you under the wing, or are you taking on a leadership role already out of the gate?
Yeah, I'm the new one. I think everyone's done a pretty good job keeping me, I feel welcome. But definitely a young team, being the oldest, the only senior. It's different for sure, not what I expected, but wouldn't want it any other way. Bunch of good kids, and they play like they're older, like Coach said. They grew up fast, so it's been good.
Canyon, I remember that one home run you hit last year early in the season. I think it was a grand slam, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it?
I think it was a two-run.
Was it a two-run
yeah,
shot?
I think it was a two-run.
You could have just agreed with me. Nobody would remember that far back. But What have you been working on specifically? And just tell me about your teammates and your excitement level to get going with region play starting this week.
Yeah, I mean, obviously just nonstop working, just hitting, catching, throwing, just like a bunch of different drills to keep me ready and keep me like on my toes and stuff, you know. But yeah, I'm so excited to play this year. I mean, after getting shut down and stuff, just kind of that hunger, you know, that kind of builds up. But yeah, these guys are great. I think we're gonna have a good, solid team this year. So yeah, really excited for that.
Zach, your dad is he's built, he's ripped. All right. So how much pressure is in there in the Andrus family to be like Dad?
Oh, there's quite a bit. Geez,
We're like Bronson.
Yeah,
Or like
Bronson's a
Bronson.
big boy.
Is Bronson as big as his dad yet?
Not quite yet. He's on a mission. He's about 6'4" right now, 6'4.5", and he's about 235 right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's gained some weight. I would say, yeah, my dad's he's big, but he really pushes me in the weight room and get me big, stronger, faster. What I gotta do to be the best I possibly can be.
Logan, what was your first moment this year that was like welcome back to baseball? Like the time you really smoked one down the line, or you know, baseball's kind of back. Have you had one of those moments yet?
Yeah, we were playing. It was Westlake last weekend, and I hit a ball off of one of the kids that was throwing upper 90s or low 90s, I guess, and just hit one to left center, got a triple off of him, and I was like, this is it. I'm ready to be back.
Awesome. That's cool. Did any of you guys have dreams last year where you were playing and you wake up and it was a nightmare and baseball season was canceled? Or
I'm sure all of us.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
Canyon, what's your role going to be? Are you the Swiss Army knife on this team, or where are we going to see you the most?
Yeah, I guess you could call me that. I'm sure the coach here could throw me anywhere. I feel like I could play that real well, and yeah, just wherever they need me. I feel like I'm good there. Except pitching. I don't know about pitching, but yeah.
Just throwing a couple bullpens.
Getting there. It's a work in progress.
Yeah.
Coach, how dialed in is your lineup right now? Is there still some battles that are still evolving, or is it pretty settled and you're ready for region play?
You know, we've mixed it around. We've stuck with a lot of guys. We don't want to make it a wagon wheel right now. Or ever, throughout the season. But we got to find the toughest 9 we can put on the field. Like I said, Region 9 is going to be tough, and we had a couple guys move into our school, that got into the lineup, and so it's been a really good thing for guys to be in different spots. Take some pressure off of some of those middle guys, and maybe see a couple more fastballs at the bottom and bottom of the lineup. But I wouldn't say it's it's set, but a lot of the same guys have been doing really good things. So we may mix it up a little bit, but we like where we're at right now. So
good thing you don't start with region play yet, or you guys don't have a region game this week, do you?
Yeah, we were supposed to go to Canyon View tomorrow, but because of the weather, they switched it to our place. So we got Canyon View this week.
Okay, and then they're going to flip it.
Yep, we'll go up there on Wednesday.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Ready to go?
Yep, here we go.
Guys, thanks for coming in. Logan West, Matt Hafen, Canyon Kutch, and Zach Andrus, and Coach Abbott, of course. We'll see you out at the yard, guys. The Crimson Cliffs Mustangs here. That's all the time we have. We can keep going and going and going, but we are out of time, and we'll have a bunch of Crimson Cliffs games on the radio. Won't have the Canyon View ones this week, though, so tune in 97.7. Later in the year, and we'll have the Mustangs on the radio. We'll take a break. When we come back, the Dixie Flyers join us next.
I'm here to talk about how with technology you can make amazing worlds. Come with me. My team and I bring the Halo world to life.
Is that you?
That is me. I wasn't a math genius and I knew nothing about coding. But you guys do. You guys have the power to change things.
I want your job.
I want you to have my job.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work.
Thanks.
You, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot, your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. Now anything but lonely.
We have this like deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
We're back, everybody, on 97.7 ESPN, and everybody watching on the live stream on CEC TV's YouTube page, as well as on our website, sportsradio977.com. We're cruising right through our 2021 Baseball Media Day. Let's talk some Flyer baseball. Dixie in the building, Coach Ibsen. We've got Jackson McElpring, Brighton Oaks, and Hunter Knighton. We'll talk with the players in just a minute, but Coach, like we always like to do, let's start with you. We got a lot to catch up on, my friend. It's been a long time since we talked baseball.
Yeah, for sure. It's great to be back.
Give us an overall feeling of, the disappointment of having the season canceled and all the hard work stemmed now to finally getting back out at the yard.
Yeah, it's been great for us to be back. It was a disappointing situation last year. We had a large number of seniors ready to play who maybe hadn't had an opportunity because there were people ahead of them to play, and so those were going to be their opportunities that year. And we missed out on that, and some opportunities to develop some of our younger kids as well. But we've worked hard. We played a lot of games between June 1st and now to get ourselves ready. So hopefully we've done that.
Same old Flyer team. Has this team got a little different blueprint, or is this a team that you can kind of do what you've always done with?
We try to just let the players play and let the game dictate how we go about what we're doing. We've got some good senior leadership with the 3 kids that we've got here, plus some other seniors that we didn't bring with us today. So look for them to lead us and push us along the way. So hopefully we'll be able to continue to improve and get better. Don't judge us early. I think we'll continue to improve as the season gets going.
You find yourselves in a little different position. You usually, pick first or second in the region. You're down maybe third or fourth, at least according to the prognosticators. Do you like that, not having the bullseye so much as you usually do?
Yeah, we've never really paid a lot of attention to what goes on, preseason. We recognize as a ball club what our strengths and weaknesses are and try to, work on those things that we need to work on. We know what those are, so we try to do that collectively as a group and get better as the season goes along, and hopefully we're peaking at the end and not at the beginning. That's kind of the name of the game, and so we've tried to work towards those things. We've had some interruptions in terms of what we thought we were going to have. With Hunter going down during football, that's added a little bit of a step for us. But we're just taking that mentality of the next person up and try to fill that role.
How is the preseason gone so far, Coach? Let's start with maybe the pitching and how that's looked in the few games you've played.
Yeah, our pitching has really been a strong point for us to this point in time. We've really focused on pitching and throwing strikes. The hallmark of what we try to do and what we preach to our kids is pitching and defense, and that's really been kind of where we've been at with that, and our pitching's been pretty good as long as we can dodge the raindrops and get some games in. As long as we've done a lot of field work, we know that for sure. So we've got that down pretty pat. So hopefully this week, we've got a tough week ahead of us this week, and we've kind of had it circled for us. We got 9 games between JV and varsity between Tuesday and Saturday this week. So a lot of baseball to be played, so a lot of people are going to get some opportunities.
When the schedule came out and you had Desert Hills first, if you go back to 2019, obviously the championship game, we know that story, and some of these seniors remember that probably like it was yesterday. This is a big start to the season.
Yeah, I think anytime, in Region 9, as you look to the start of the region season, I think that's always big. It's always going to be a big weekend or big series that you have when you come up with that, because it's such a tough region and tough to come up with 2 quality wins, or even trying to split or do whatever you've got to do to work your way through that schedule. So, Region 9's tough, and it's going to be a hard fight, probably more so this year than at any other time.
Do you feel like the coaching job is going to be harder? And then to that end, you start with Desert Hills. If you get swept or if you sweep them, how do you keep the guys the perspective going, because it's early.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to take that in early. I mean, you got to remember in 2017, we lost 2 straight to Desert Hills to start the year. So there's some perspective for us in terms of how we want to be able to approach that, and knowing full well that it's going to be a tough season and a tough schedule. I think we have to look at that and have the perspective going in and recognizing that, you know, we have a chance later on in the season to pick some games up.
And what about the coaching job, the 2020 lost season? Is it going to be harder this year for you to be a coach, knowing that guys didn't get that year?
No, I think more than anything, I think you over the years maybe you take it for granted, and so when it's taken from you based on things that are out of your control, and now you're put in that position, I think that the kids may be a little bit hungrier and a little bit more willing to put in the work and the effort because they know how quickly it can go away.
Before we bring in the players, Coach, give us a couple names of some newcomers that can really see some good minutes for you this year.
Yeah, so we've really, you know, we've got Malcolm Bartholomew and G.J. Erickson on the mound for us that have really been stellar for us to start the season, have really thrown some strikes. Dane Thorpe's been good for us as a good utility person in the field, plus he's been a good strong bat for us in the middle of the lineup. You know, Luis Acuna has been that kind of that back-end reliever for us in terms of what we've tried to do, and at the plate he's been very, very good and very consistent in terms of what we've done, and Jake St. Cyr has been great for us in the outfield with great speed and gets a good read on the ball, and you know, hopefully we're in a position where we can get his arm ready and in a position to give us some innings on the mound, just recovering from a little bit of Tommy John, but hopefully we'll have him back in a position to help us along. So really, though, you know, we look for a good solid lineup, and nothing's set in stone, and we'll probably be moving that lineup each game depending upon who's hot, and we'll go with that hot hand.
We'll circle back to Coach Ibsen. We're talking with the Flyers here inside our 2021 Baseball Media Day. Let's bring in the players for some questions now, representing their team and their teammates, Jackson McElpring, Brighton Oaks, and Hunter Knighton. And Hunter, I do want to start with you because Coach just mentioned it, and I was there when you got that knee injured, and then you came back, and then you got injured again. How is the rehab going, and how soon will you be back to 100%, my friend?
It's going pretty good right now. I just started my bridge program like today, a couple hours ago, and then it's just been tough. Just got to teach the youngins what to do at shortstop, and yeah, that's about it.
Well, it was obviously the thing that went through my mind in football season was like, oh no, is he going to be back for baseball? I'm sure that was the same thought as Coach.
Yeah, no question. I mean, I only had about, we were up in Pleasant Grove playing that weekend, and you know, by the time I got back to my phone, I only had about a dozen messages from people. So it wasn't a secret at that point in time.
What is the timetable, Hunter? Do we have one yet, or is it day by day, week by week?
I got to wait my full 9 months, so I still got 4 to 5 more months to get back to play.
Is it hard, man? Is that a tough pill to swallow?
Through baseball, basketball, and football, it's just like I want to be on the court and on the field, but it's just I can't. So I just got to keep going with my teammates, keep them up, and yeah.
Is he like an extra coach right now?
We've kind of given a little more responsibility to him than maybe what he was expecting and anticipating. So, you know, we're pushing him along to help us lead us in the dugout and on the field. And, you know, like I said, when you lose your leadoff hitter and shortstop, it becomes a pretty big hole to fill. And for him to be in that position to come and help us every day and be willing to put in the time, knowing full well that it may not be an opportunity for him to get on the field, I think that shows to his character.
We can't even do a Kirk Gibson with him, and you know, pinch
hey,
hit.
I watch him run around sometimes, and I wonder that. So, you know, we might put another number on him and send him out. I don't know. Make sure that you know, the docs don't see it.
Let's bring in Jackson for a minute. Jackson, what's this layoff been like? And now you got 5 games or so under your belt, man. How fun has it been to be back out on the diamond with your brothers?
Oh, it's unreal to be back, and after that long break, just glad to be back too, winning games and just keeping going one by one.
Right, and you guys are off to a good start. Solid start, but obviously got the end goal in mind. It's still really, really early, but your thoughts on a big week already right out of the gate?
Yeah, we just got to focus one pitch, one play at a time and see how it goes.
Seems like last time we saw you on the field, Brighton, you were a skinny little sophomore. I was talking to Trayton Staley about that, and you guys grew up, and because we didn't see you for a year, you guys grew up. Do you feel like now you're a guy, okay, I've got to be a leader now, I've got to be the strong guy, I've got to be the mature guy?
Yeah, for sure. And I think the younger kids look up to me a lot, and I got to be a good role model for them and show them what hard work and everything is.
Good answer. Good answer.
We rarely talk about home field advantage in baseball compared to football or basketball, but we know how much pride and hard work Coach Ibsen has put into that field over the years. We talked about doing field work and stuff like that. Jackson, how important is that field literally to Dixie Flyer baseball and the work you guys put into that?
Oh, it's everything. That whole week of just rain and stuff, we probably put more hours into working on that field for other teams to play than even for ourselves. Like one of the days we were there at 7:30 a.m. back-to-back days, working for not even us to get a game, but for the other teams just to get a game. I don't think we've ever had a game canceled with Coach Ibsen. It's always
awesome.
just be at the field up and bright and early and get it done.
And they still had time to go home and do their homework. Yeah. Brighton, actually, Hunter, let's bring Hunter. Hunter, talk to me about these guys a little bit, man. What are we going to see this week from these guys? Like, break down their game right now as we get ready for region play.
So, Brighton over here, I got him leading the team in doubles and home runs this year.
Okay.
And this week, he's just got to be the leader out there, out in center field. Same as Jackson, as catcher. He's got to be out there leading the whole team. Got to be with the pitchers and the whole infield too. So,
no more pressure hearing that from Hunter, right, guys?
Jackson, I was always curious as a catcher, is the toughest play that windy pop up straight over your head? Is that the toughest play to make as a catcher? The wind's warm. It's 20 miles per hour.
Oh, yeah,
the
especially when it's windy. Yeah, for sure. Those pop-ups will get you.
If the bases are loaded.
Yeah, for
then
sure.
It's that much bigger of a play. How much, Coach Horlacher, how much rope do you have? Are you calling a lot of the pitches right now? Talk to me a little bit about that. Or is it a 50-50 kind of split?
For most of the time, it's just him, and just like me and him just talking. And then when it's Malcolm, I'll call my own game because he'll just talk to us about situations and stuff. And me and Malcolm have played with each other forever, so we just kind of know. We're like same mindset, so we're good.
Same staff, Coach, pretty much?
Yeah, we pretty much got the same staff. Dustin Holt didn't have the opportunity to come back this year because of time constraints, but based on that, we've got everybody back, and we've got with the opportunity with Braxton is there with us as well. So we've pretty much got the same staff back, and glad to have them.
Yeah.
They're good support.
So maybe say a word about Kurt Iving, served Dixie program for so long.
Yeah, so he wasn't going to coach last year, so he stepped away and has pursued some other options in the city council and whatnot. But he's the first one there in about the second row, right behind home plate. So I don't know that we missed him much. So so he's there, he's right there with us. So we appreciate his support, and he's been there a long time with us, and it's great to be able to have that. I mean, if you look at that, between Horlacher and Chunner and Braxton, we've got several of our former players back that are helping us coach and run our program, and that's good for me and makes me proud.
Yeah, that's big time right there. A couple big names in Region 9 baseball on the staff with the Flyers, and we'll see the Flyers, and you can hear the Flyers tomorrow night. Our first game of the season from Dixie High School. The field's going to look great. We'll try to paint the picture for you. On radio, it'll be the Flyers and the Thunder tomorrow night. Coach, guys, best of luck this year. Thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, you guys. We appreciate it very much. Thanks for your support, and we look forward to seeing you out at the ball field.
All right, we got to take a break. Lots more coming up. Still to come. We've got Herc and Candy View, followed by Cedar, and then we'll get you some of our all-region preseason teams and the expected order of finish in the Region 9 standings. Stay with us.
Show you give a damn. Show the world how it's done. Show them that when your community needed you the most, you showed up. Mask up, America.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. So if you're looking for me, then you better look down where there's tall palm trees and shopping sprees. Sip my ties and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
Welcome back. Hope you're not tired of us because we still got a lot to do here in our 2021 Region 9 Baseball Media Day. Devin Dixon, Andy Griffin, Andy Thompson. I'm here with a couple Andys hanging out on set, and we're firing questions. We're having fun. We're excited to get back to spring sports after missing them last year, and I'm sure the players, and you've heard it from a lot of the coaches and players already, really excited to get back out on the diamond. Appreciate our sponsors, Ideal Home and Paint, Sullivan Homes, Bucks Ace Hardware, Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, and the Hurricane Tigers are in the building. Coach Shane Johansson. Coach, how are you? Good to see you. It's been way too long.
Doing good, thanks. Good to be here.
I want to let you introduce the guys. I've done this a couple times today. Tell me who you decided to bring and why you decided to bring these guys representing H-Town.
So we brought our 3 seniors. Kel Webb's here next to me. Next to him is Kaz Hughes, and then Trenton Percival is down there on the end. These are we don't have a lot of seniors this year. This is all the 3 we've got, so they're here representing.
I love it. I love it. Give us an overall preview of the Tigers for the upcoming season.
Well, we're with only 3 seniors. We're a young team, kind of combo young, and I'm sure you've heard it from the other teams. It's hard to lose a year. We only have really 2 guys that have significant varsity experience coming in. Even though we have some good junior play, but again, you lose a year, and we had 8 seniors last year, so we're kind of getting it as we go. We have some talented kids, but we're going to be a team that's going to grow as the season goes along and gain experience as we get there, get used to varsity play, and hopefully by mid-season in the end we're rolling and knocking the ball around and competing in a tough region as it always is.
Got some monsters in Region 9. Seems like we have monsters in Region 9 every year. What does Hurricane, what does H-Town need to do to break through against some of the big boys?
Well, you need to pitch well and hit the ball and play defense. If we can do that, I think we'll be good.
sounds pretty easy, Coach.
It is. Baseball's an easy game, but just do the things you need to, and you can get there. I think that we've traditionally been seen as kind of the JV team out there in Hurricane. We don't see ourselves that way. Even when we're young, I think that we work hard to do things the right way. We have guys that buy in. We have guys that play in the off season. Every year I'm a big American Legion guy. We play a lot of baseball, and so I think that we're always going to be scrappy. And I think we have talented guys that can compete in the region. And it's just a matter if you get a few breaks here and there and don't get COVIDed out, and we'll continue to grow. I think that we'll be better this year than we've been in the past. It might take a little while, but I think it's just we'll keep making the breaks and getting after it.
Small sample size in the preseason, the few games you guys have been able to play, Coach, but where has this group exceeded your expectations, and where's some spots they still need to work on?
Well, it's like an inexperienced team. Defensively, we haven't been as strong as I'd wanted us to. It boils down, if you can play solid defense, you can be in any game.
Yeah.
And we have been in most games. The last game we played, we're not deep pitching-wise. And so I think that's another thing that hopefully we get figured out. Nice thing about region is you're not playing 4 and 5 tournament games in a week.
Right.
So that'll certainly help us. I think as far as, and we played some really tough teams. So we've only played, all of our teams have been 5As except for one. And so that's given us a good chance already to look at, okay, what's it like to see big guys that you can play against. So I've been proud of our guys in some games that we've played. We played a 9-inning game against Wasatch that was just battle back and forth and some great defensive plays. So, I think we'll be a little bit that way. That's what I've been pleased with, is that we fight, we know how to battle, we make mistakes, but we pick ourselves up and get back after it. And hopefully that'll become less and less as the season comes on, and then we're just, sharp every time we play.
I want to ask a little bit, you mentioned the COVID. Obviously, who cares if you have a test? We're playing, right? But is that nerve-wracking to go into a week not knowing if you'll have everybody available? What's that like for baseball? You got to have all hands on deck. You want to have your whole staff. Are you used to it at this point in time?
Well, we just started, but my expectation is that we'll just be good every time. That we've, I don't know, it's been around long enough. I assume that can happen, and I guess we'll face it when it gets there. But I'm not walking into tests holding our breath that maybe somebody's gonna have it. I'm hoping that we're around the curve and it's a good time and we can just, we'll play with everybody we have. So
Maybe take the BYU basketball philosophy and introduce everybody as they're going for their COVID tests. Coach, I want to ask you about Josh Wright before we meet your players,
Sure.
your seniors. He's off to a great start this year.
he is. Josh will be our #1 pitcher. He threw a great game against Highland. He hit the ball really well. Last year he was the same thing. I think he was hitting 500 when we got the season shut down for us. He's a junior, big, strong kid. Has really worked hard in the weight room in the off season. He'll be an important factor for us for sure.
All right, we'll circle back to Coach Johansson in just a minute, but let's bring in these seniors, Kel Webb, Kaz Hughes, and how do you say your last name? Percival. Mr. Percival. Let's start with Troy. I think is it Troy Percival, the former big league pitcher?
We're related
Yeah.
to him.
Are you related? Really? You got his cannon?
Sort whatever.
Kel, let's start with you, man. Just tell me about the excitement of getting ready for Region Play starting up this week.
Dude, so as soon as we started up with our senior practices and stuff like that, and we all knew it was coming, we were all excited. We all just getting ready. It's exciting. We're ready to be back in game mode.
I asked the guys in one of the teams earlier, do you feel robbed from last year? Are you angry? Are you bitter? Are you just like, well, it is what it is? What's the attitude for you guys having missed last season?
Well, honestly, I was just getting started. As soon as COVID hit, I was popping off, and then as soon as COVID hit, everything felt like it shut down and just sucked.
What about you, Kaz?
I agree. I think we were ready last year. We were coming in ready to play these big teams and compete well, and COVID kind of took that from us, but we're back and ready for it again. So
I just like how I love the script H, I love the pinstripes, Kel Webb, you guys were born to play baseball, right? I love your names. What's your favorite baseball movie, and did you have it on a loop last year when you weren't able to play? What movie did you guys grow up watching to get you pumped up to play baseball? I'm curious, this new generation of ball players.
I'd say Sandlot.
Okay,
just
so that's still around. That's probably #1, right?
Yeah,
Sandlot.
Just a classic.
You guys look to the left. You got PA on your hats. What's PA?
So it was one of the kids that went to our high school. He probably was one of the best kids to go through Hurricane High School. He unfortunately passed away, but we all play for him. That's what we decided to do. They asked if we wanted to take it off this year, and I lived close to the kid. I knew their family. I knew everyone, and so I wanted to keep it on. I would fight for it if they were trying to. I definitely would want it on here.
Very inspired. Very cool.
I love to hear that. Back to Mr. Percival. What's in the old arsenal, man? How good's the fastball right now? What else you got in the bag of tricks?
So I got 2-seam, split change, and 12-6 curveball. But a lot of movement on the fastball, probably my favorite pitch. Tails in a lot on them. And I got a good breaking curveball. I think that's going to be helpful this year.
Are they going to Coach, you going to let him hit it all, or just going to pitch this year?
He wants me to let him hit. How's that? Kind of like pitchers focusing on, I think somebody said that earlier, focus on your pitching and what you're best at. So we'll see.
Hurricane Tigers got about 2 minutes left here. Kel, I'm just curious, is there a rivalry? I know it changes year to year. It seems like, it could be this team against this team. For you guys, do you guys feel like in baseball there's a rivalry? Because of Region 9 in baseball, it's always historically been so good, and so many teams make deep runs into the postseason that every game's a rivalry.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't say there's much there is rivalry, but whatever. But a lot of us are friends. A lot of us know each other. A lot of us just kind of play to just get into each other, get in and play against each other and go as hard as you can, and
Coach Johansson, you a big believer in Legion ball, had tremendous success actually in Legion ball. How important is that to you? How important is that to the developing of baseball players here in Southern Utah?
You gain a lot. The spring season is so short. It's intense and it's fun for lots of reasons, but it's really hard for lots of guys to be able to grow in such a short amount of time, especially more than just your key guys. So for me, it's always been a big thing to develop guys. It helps cement your team as the year goes on. It gives the seniors a chance to play more games, you know, in a fun atmosphere. And I've always just really enjoyed what it's done, both, you know, where I used to coach and as well as here. So I'll keep pushing it forward. Even if it's only our program that does it, I think it's a good thing.
Got about a minute left with the Hurricane Tigers. Kaz, the first game of the season after that long layoff, and now the first game of region. What's more nerve-wracking, that first game after that long layoff, or this game against Pineview coming up this week?
I would probably say the long wait, because I think, like I said, I think we're ready to play this year. I think we're going to come out and compete well and play well, and I think it's more, I mean, they're a good team and it's going to be a battle, but I think we have the skill and the talent to beat them. It's just whether or not we're going to pull that out of the bag.
Any questions, guys? About out of time. Hurricane Tigers, Coach Johansson, Kel, Kaz, and Mr. Percival. Thanks for coming in. We'll see you guys out at the yard. And we'll have a bunch of Tiger games on the radio this year as well, so keep it locked in. We're not done yet. Coming up still, Canyon View and Cedar will join us. And then we'll have our wrap-up segment with the preseason MVP awards and more. Stay with us in our 2021 Baseball Media Day.
0.52 kilograms.
This graph is square.
Pretty close.
Artemisia is all the same pressure, but there's your needle and thread. Which one is this?
Come down. Turn, please. Ready? Sodium carbonate.
Here's your baby. No, I'm not breathing.
Hey, we're back. 2021 Region 9 Baseball Media Day. Devin Dixon, Andy Griffin, Andy Thompson hanging out with the ESPN staff here, bringing you the coverage. We're glad to be here on campus at Dixie State, streaming it on CEC TV. And time for the Canyon View Falcons. Coach Jacobson and the boys have made the trip down. We really appreciate it. And representing Canyon View with Coach Jacobson, we got just two players today, so they get to gobble up all the talk time here. And that's Tommy English.
They were really excited about that when I told them.
They wanted you to bring more, or they were excited there was only two?
They wanted a few more. And so.
Tommy English and Cody Callison representing the Falcons here inside our Media Day coverage. And Coach, let's start with you before we give them the stage and bring us up to speed. I mean, the big theme has been the long layoff and how it's affected everybody a little bit differently. Give us your perspective on that and how everybody's ready to go.
Well, I mean, yeah, we didn't get to play last year, obviously. It felt just felt great to get out there. You know, we were able to play a little summer. We did lots of stuff in the fall. But it's not the same, you know. You don't have the same uniforms, and it's not the same intensity and all that type of stuff. But, you know, so to get back and to have official practices and tryouts and get the official uniform on, and man, it just felt good. Felt so good. And I know talking to all the other coaches around, you know, the same thing. Yeah, I still feel bad for last year and those kids that put in time and effort and wanted, you know, those senior guys and. But we're off and moving to, you know, new year, and you know, it feels great to get out there and, you know, seeing everybody getting going.
And this is going to be, for at least the foreseeable future, your last year in Region 9. Give me your thoughts on that. It's a big topic.
Yeah, no, I knew I was going to get that question. And, It is what it is. You know, we're not too happy about it. I mean, if you're going to pin me down, I want to stay. I'd rather stay. And but it is what it is. And so we got to come out and play well. And you know, probably a couple more years, we'll probably come on back. So we'll see. But you know, we're looking forward to the year. Obviously, this league is unbelievably good. So many good players, and you know, it's going to be kind of sad to go away for a little bit. But yeah, you never know.
Did I read you're in your 18th year as a head coach at Canyon?
18th.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I think 2003, 2004 was my first year, and
what year did the
18.
school open?
It opened in 97,
Okay.
98.
So you were like second coach or third coach?
I was the second coach.
Second coach?
A guy named Blake Butler was there with first, and I happened to be I was one of the assistant coaches at SUU, and then you know, had my teaching degree, and yeah.
What has changed in 18 years in you and in the kids?
I don't know if much has changed in me. I still love it. I love the camaraderie with all the coaches. I love being here with the kids. I say kids, they're not kids, young men. And watching them grow and fight through things and struggle through things and have and then have success. So I don't know if much has changed with me. And but the league, you know, hey, the league's always been good. But now, I mean, the league is better than ever. I mean, it's incredible, and it's a tribute to all the coaches and the players that have just put in the time and effort and all over the place. And so it's just fun. Baseball right now is so fun. It's fun. It's fun down here in Southern Utah, and throughout the state. It's just incredible right now how many good players there are throughout the state, and that makes it fun. It makes it fun to go compete against those guys, see how good you are, and yeah, to see how good your team can be.
There was BYU Dixie State played last week. There were 5 Region 9 guys involved in that game. That's pretty cool.
You know, and that is cool, and that's so fun. I've talked to many coaches around. It's whether we have players playing. You know, we had a few at BYU for a time or two, and it's just fun to see Region 9 guys. And just, I mean, I always look them up, see how they doing. You know, how are they playing? What's their role? All those type of things. It's just fun.
What's Keaton doing nowadays?
Keaton is he lives up in Utah County. I don't know exactly what he does. Yeah, he was at BYU for a while. Zach Brinkerhoff, he helps Mountain Crest baseball up there. So I talked to him last week when they came down and played. And so we have Peyton Higgins. He's our only guy playing right now out in Bellevue, out in Nebraska. And he's leading their team in hitting. He's having a great year. So
let's talk about your guys. I mean, you got a few returning contributors from the 2019 season, but give us some names, Coach. Let's get to know this lineup.
Well, I'll start with the two that came down with me today. You got Cody Callison right here to my left and Tommy English. They've both got off to a really, really good start, hitting the ball, and we've asked Cody to play around a little bit. He plays a little infield and outfield for us, and Tommy's kind of manning third base for us. They've got off to a good start. Let's see, we got Holden Miller. He's been playing, he started for us as a sophomore last year. He's kind of playing the middle infield a little bit. We had 2 kids move in from out of town that stepped in and really contributed right away, Cameron Calvez and Chase Calvez. They've contributed to us. Hudson Slack, another little sophomore, has really stepped up and plays with a lot of confidence, and he's going to be a really good player for us. And so on the mound, we got Davin Roundy. He's a senior. We expect big things from him. Jake Garrett's pitched some innings for us as a sophomore. Carson Hopkins, who's been around, he started for us for a long time, and we expect big things from him. So we like where we're at. We're improving, and but ready or not, here comes league, and we'll see what we got tomorrow.
Crimson Cliffs, the first out of the gate for Canyon View. And let's bring in the players, and we'll circle back to Coach for some questions. But we got to give them some talk time. There are only 2 of them here. Cody, how's it going, man? Welcome to our media day. First time we've had you here. And tell me a little bit about yourself.
I play first base, and I played a little bit of outfield. Just been playing around out there the last couple of years, and I like it out there, and it's fun. But yeah.
Any other sports or just baseball?
I play football as well.
Gotcha.
Cody had a really good year in football for us this year as a receiver.
What's it like on a day-to-day basis? Take us through a Coach Jacobson practice the last couple of days.
Well, we start out and warm up, and we've been working on fielding. And
when there's not snow on the ground?
Yep. 2 weeks ago, we were in the gym practicing. We had snow, but yep, no days off. Hit as much as we can in the cage and just take ground balls as much as well. And that's about it.
Tommy, you've been getting reps into the plate. You're smashing it right now. You're hitting well up over 500 right now through your early non-region games.
Yeah, it's nice. I'm just been working in the cage, keeping my swing down. There's still stuff to work on. Just got to be ready for anything.
Seems like you see it over and over in baseball. A guy makes a play in the field, like a hot corner for you, and then he's the guy leading off the next inning, makes some big play with the bat. What's the relationship between what you do on defense and what you do on offense as a third baseman?
Well, sometimes I get that hard ball at third that I maybe miss or scuff, like miss it, and then maybe I go up to the plate next inning and hit a double or hit a hard hit somewhere and it drops in. I get on base, and it's just, that's how baseball is. It's like sometimes you get good hits, sometimes you get bad hits, sometimes you don't have the good games, sometimes you have bad games. It's always different.
Cody, I asked another player to do this. What's been your kind of welcome back to baseball moment since the long layoff and stuff like that, spraying a double into a gap or something like that? Tell us about that kind of moment for you this year.
Back a couple weekends when we were playing in the Snow Canyon tournament against UNA, I smacked one out to the center field, over the center fielder's head, and had a stand-up double, and it's just always exciting, get you back and ready to go.
Awesome. What about you, Coach? What's been your kind of exhilarating moment this year, you know, shaking the rust off and you're back on a diamond, that type of thing?
Oh, man, I don't know. It's just, you know, it was just the first game. When we played Enterprise came, and, you know, we're all dressed up and just, you know, just losing last year was just devastating to everybody.
Yeah.
And just to see everybody, see the smile on their faces, and, you know, it was opening day.
Yeah.
You know, you treat every day, treat every game like it's opening day, and to see all the smiles and jumping around and the talk in the dugout, it's just, you know, it felt good to get out there and to get the field ready for a game. And, you know, I just, yeah, I think that for me that was the moment. And hey, we're off and running, and here we go.
Coach, you've had some really good clubs that have really, of all the Canyon View sports, I feel like you're one of the programs, not the only one, but you're one of the programs that's historically really competed well. Maybe back to your previous conference, so you kind of feel like you'd love to stay in Region 9. Do you feel like you can kind of sneak some wins this year? Do you feel like you got a pretty gritty, sneaky team?
You know, hey, we've had some really good teams, and you know, in the last couple of years we struggled a little bit, and we really struggled to win those close games, and so. We've talked about it. We got to get over the hump and winning those close games. So yes, there's no doubt in my mind. I think you know, we can do that and play with you know, the big boys and we got, you know, we got to be better though. You know, the first couple of games we did play you know, Spanish, and we did play Snow Canyon, and you know, in the state, what are they, 1-5 or something like that, and obviously they're very good, and we. You know, we made a bunch of errors and stuff like that. So we got to clean that up. If we can clean that up, play a little bit better defense, I like our chances.
Very good, Coach. I know we're short on time. Is this the kind of year you're going to play a lot of small ball, or is this the kind of year where you can rely on some of the strength of your bats?
I like small ball. I like playing small ball. I have no problem with playing small ball with, you know, and that's probably the not what's really going on with baseball. But hey, if we can, we can. And you know what? We got guys who can swing it. We're going to let swing it too.
Who's going to hit more home runs between these two? Tommy says me. I like the confidence, Tommy.
I think Tommy probably will. Yeah, so, but that's okay.
Tommy, Cody, thanks for coming down, representing Canyon View and your teammates. Good to see you. We'll see you out there at a game soon. Coach, always a pleasure.
No, thank you. Thanks for having us, and it's going to be a great fall.
Canyon View
spring,
Falcons.
sorry.
Yeah, spring baseball is in the air. We got to take a break. We're not done. Cedar City joins us on set when we come back. Don't touch that dial.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky.
There's a rush coming.
Let's rush best 9 plays from last week in Region 9. Number 1 better be good.
One-handed grab, and Luke Wright is going to score a touchdown on one of the better grabs you'll ever see in high school football.
Lawrence, are you going to do anything, or are you just going to sit there?
This is Henry Bouchard, Cape Girardeau, Missouri. I never found a customer base more in need of fine American-made sucking power than I found up and down the Wasatch Front in the mid-1980s.
There's one thing coaches love, it's media guys telling them how good or bad their team is.
My pick for the 4A state championship this year when it comes to football is the Stansbury Stallions.
Give me a break. This isn't a contest about who can shovel the most corn silage. I like Pine View.
Spending time outdoors has never felt more valuable. Whether it's exploring nature or relaxing in your yard, let's do it responsibly. Before going out, check for closures and fire restrictions. Practice social distancing, even when outside and on the trail. Back at home, if burning yard debris, keep your pile small. And no matter where you are, be sure to properly extinguish any outdoor fire. Drown, stir, drown, feel. We're all in this together. Help keep our safe places safe.
All right, we are back and we are not done yet. It's our 2021 Region 9 Baseball Media Day. Devin Dixon, Andy Griffin, Andy Thompson. Just had Canyon View in the building, and now we stay up in Iron County, and the Cedar Reds are here joining us, and they've got a brand new coach, Coach Sean Alton. Coach, welcome to our Media Day. Thanks for bringing the kids down. We'll talk with the kids in just a second, but we want to get to know you just a little bit. Tell us about everything that led up to, you taking the job at Cedar City High School.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I coached at Emory for 7 years and was fortunate enough to land the head coach there for a year. And then things were such where with job and employment where we moved down to the Cedar City area. I've always wanted to move to Cedar City. I have roots in Cedar City in the Hurricane area with my parents. And so I know in the summer times, my brother and I would always come down to be with the parent or the grandparents and play around. So Cedar City is not out of the norm for us. It's kind of a second home. And so it was always fun to always want to come back to the Cedar City area. And when we moved here with employment, the head coaching job came open, and my wife's like, hey, what do you think? You've always wanted to get back into coaching. And I said, absolutely. So we went for it, and here we are.
I love it. Big shoes to fill, though. Coach Feldstead was there a long time, did a great job. Have you had some conversations with him as you've taken this role on?
Absolutely. And I want to give kudos to Coach Feldstead because I think he's done a remarkable job. With Cedar City being very baseball-minded as it is in the community, he has done a great job there. And kudos to him. I tip my hat to him for what he's done with the program and what he's done in the past. And we're, going to continue that tradition.
Region 9 has been a lot about St. George, but it seems like Cedar has always found its way to stick its foot in the door and find a way in amongst the big boys in Region 9. You guys have been right there toward the end of state championships. And at this point, do you feel like your first year, Coach Alton, that there's a lot of pressure on you that you need to be right there with the Desert Hills and the Snow Canyons and the Dixies?
No, not at all. I mean, is there a little bit of pressure? Yes. But what I feel is that what I've seen is we do have a great group of kids, and they always compete. And with the traditions that are there with the baseball community, I have a lot of confidence in what we can do as a team and with the kids. And so I continue to have that faith that they're going to do what they need to do and step in and put their foot forward.
Quick follow-up on that. Your basketball team just won state championship.
Boom.
Does that carry over at all? Is there any kind of any kind of feeling you can get from that that'll help?
Yes, I hope to use that momentum and go forward, of course. But I've had a lot of people ask me, so you do have a target on your back to carry that forward and continue that into the baseball program for sure.
Let's get to know the kids a little bit. Give us kind of an overall preview, who we see on the mound in relief, and what does kind of that starting lineup look like? Where's your power come from and everything like that?
Sure. We do have one returning starter, Kobe White right here. He's played at the varsity level for the last couple of years, and we really are young minded. We have just a couple of other people in Calvin Slack and Kason Crandall that have 1 or 2 games under their belt as far as the varsity is concerned. And so other than that, we don't return at the varsity experience a lot of people, but we do have quite a few juniors and some sophomores that we're going to rely on to step in and fill those roles and to improve. So, I mean, Logan Little, our other senior here, he's going to provide some depth in the outfield, and then we have a slew of juniors and Calvin Slack that we're going to see, at short and third. Kason Crandall that I mentioned before, he'll be one of our starters on the mound, as well as our number 1 behind the plate. And Kobe White will be our number 1 on the mound, and he's already thrown a couple of gems this year. Unfortunately, the win-loss column hasn't shown what he has done on the mound, but he's thrown absolutely phenomenal for us. So, we're just going to rely on a lot of our younger kids to step in and fill some roles this year as we move forward.
Cedar City here with us. Let's bring in the players, and then we'll circle back to Coach Alton in just a second. But Kobe, let's talk about those games. How frustrating is it, or how rewarding is it to know, hey, I did my job, we just didn't get the victory that day? And as a leader on this team, man, what's the vibe? What's it like? All these young kids, obviously missing last season. Kind of bring me up to speed what it's been like for you and your teammates.
Taking like the leadership role this year, it's kind of been a big jump. Like we had like 7 seniors, I think, last year, and they're all like pretty good leaders, and just like this year, we're the only two seniors. So like talking to him at first, like when he first met Coach Alton, he was like, you're gonna be gotta be a leader this year. And Coach Esplin too, he's like, I'm kind of like a more quiet kid, I would say. I don't know, but Coach Esplin's like, you got to be a vocal leader this year, And so I guess just try and hype each other up, But yeah.
I love it. Logan, let's get to know you a little bit, man. You've always played only baseball. You play other sports. Tell me about yourself.
Just baseball.
Just baseball.
Yeah, through high school, just baseball.
When did you first throw your first baseball? Will your dad have you throw it when you were
since I was young, just baseball all the way through. That's the sport I fell in love with, so that's what I stuck with.
And now you're one of 2 seniors, man.
Yep. Yeah, just 2.
And a new coach.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. It's going to be a fun season.
Your teammates, though, like, what's the vibe like? Back to my first question, Kobe. Just tell me about, like, I know the weather can be kind of crazy up there in the spring, everything like that, but do you guys feel like you're ready against a loaded Region 9 this year to get in the mix again?
Region 9 is definitely loaded this year. Yeah, I think we're ready. It's just, for us, it's small ball, and we've seen that playing in these preseason games, just what a couple bunts could do to us, and how we folded, and which we're very capable of doing to other teams. So putting pressure on defenses, and I think it's a lot about small ball this year for us.
You guys feel like, as seniors, that the pressure's on you to lead with your bats and with your arms, but also lead emotionally?
I don't know. I think mostly just lead by example when kids are down, which we've seen kids hanging their heads quite a bit, just playing in games where we should have won games, I think, where you just kind of folded in 1 or 2 innings. And I don't know, lead by example, I'd say for sure. Just keep your head up, rebounding on errors, So.
Yeah. How about you, Logan?
We have a lot of junior, like Kason Crandall. He's a good leader, and with that, like being a young kid, we have really good team chemistry, and like we all get along totally well. And so like only being 2 seniors, it's not a huge, I feel like it's a big role. We have to be really good with leadership and everything, but everyone gets along and everyone has the same motivation as we all do. We all push each other to be really good, and if someone makes an error in the field, it's just brush it off and everyone has their back. So like with leadership and all that, you just have to stay positive and everyone's on the same page. So.
Colby, you were one of the funnest kids in Region 9 to watch on the football field. We're obviously really excited to watch you on the diamond. We talk about leadership roles. How is being a football leader versus baseball? Football's kind of rah-rah. Baseball's a little bit more maybe put your arm around a guy type leadership. What's that kind of balance been like for you?
It's been about the same, really. Just with all of us, we're just really good team chemistry on both teams, and just feel like that if you're really close, you can rely. If I feel like I can rely on anybody in both of those sports, and when you got that trust, it's not too hard to be a leader,
Yeah,
so.
Awesome.
Kobe, you mentioned you're going to play some small ball, but who's the most likely Reds player to hit the first home run of the year? I don't care if it's inside the park or outside the park.
Case and Crandall or me, I think. We've just been hitting the ball really well, me and him right now. So I don't know. I don't want to think that I'm going to go. I'm not like the biggest kid. I consider myself a stick a lot. So if I can hit one out, that'd be pretty cool. But I'm not thinking that we're going to hit a lot of home runs this year. But yeah.
Maybe the little wind behind, a little Cedar
Yeah,
City
Cedar
wind.
City wind,
Yeah.
yeah. That'll do it for you.
About 92 to 95. You just square that up, it's probably gone.
You tap that. It'll go a ways.
What have you guys set some individual goals, you two seniors?
Not in like as a team we have. We've
Yeah.
sat down and said.
What about individually though?
I personally haven't. No.
Oh, okay.
Why put a lid on something? Just go do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Coach, it sounds like you got some really good leaders, but what's your thoughts on the overall? You're new to Region 9 as a coach. You're not the only new coach this year. Kevin Cave is new at Desert Hills, but I'm sure you've been in state. You know how good this region has been. Now you're going to get your first taste of it. Is it exciting? Is it eyes wide open? I mean, what's your thought process like right now?
No, I'm actually really excited. I've played in the past. I played against Region 9. I've coached against Region 9, and my personal thoughts are that Region 9, top to bottom, in any given sport on any given day is the best in the state. And it's exciting to me to be able to take these kids and coach them and come into these games and compete day in and day out in the battles that you're going to see on the field or in the gym or wherever it is. You're going to have a battle no matter what. It's just that tough, and it's exciting. It's rewarding, and so yeah, I'm very excited to see that.
Got about a minute left, guys. A couple more questions for either coach or the players.
Yeah, I know Coach Fieldstead has been really helpful. Have you been in communication with some of the other coaches? How well do you know the other coaches in Region 9? I'm sure a lot of them are brand new to you, but.
Yes, I mean they're brand new, but I've reached out several times and talked to a lot of them. Coach K with Desert Hills, we just finished up with his tournament. I've been in communication with him. Coach Sechrist over at Snow Canyon. So a lot of those I've personally reached out and said, hey, this is who I am, what can I do to help out in the region? And they've been nothing but great and respectful and returned that. So I feel a great brotherhood with all that, and it's been a great experience.
The Reds of Cedar City, they're ready to go. Weeks of preparation are in the books, and now it's time to lace them up and play some Region 9 baseball. Coach, thanks for driving down. Guys, thanks for being here, representing your teammates, and we'll see you out on the diamond.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll take the break. We're not done yet. We've got through all of our 8 teams, but when we come back, after a little bit lengthier break, we'll take a 5-minute timeout. We'll tally everything up. We'll give you the preseason MVP list as well as the predicted order of finish. Stay with us, everybody.
Hey guys, how are you today? Good. I'm here to talk about how with technology you can make amazing worlds. Come with me. My team and I bring the Halo world to life. Is that you? That is me. I wasn't a math genius, and I knew nothing about coding. But you guys do. You guys have the power to change things. I want your job. I want you to have my job.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work.
Thanks. You, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot, your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. Now I'm anything but lonely.
We had this like deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet,
we discover
they're a little bit of a lot of things,
but they're all pure love.
Time apart has taught us. In our social distance, we found space. Space to ponder. Space to connect. Space to imagine. Space to heal. In the emptiness, we found meaning. In silence, we found beauty. In separation, we've discovered there is so much more to find when we find our space. Find your space.
There's a rush coming.
Let's rush best 9 plays from last week in Region 9. Number 1 better be good.
One-handed grab, and Luke Wright is going to score a touchdown on one of the better grabs you'll ever see in high school football.
Lawrence, are you going to do anything, or are you just going to sit there?
This is Henry Bouchard, Cape Girardeau, Missouri. I never found a customer base more in need of fine American-made sucking power than I found up and down the Wasatch Front in the mid-1980s.
There's one thing coaches love, it's media guys, telling them how good or bad their team is.
My pick for the 4A state championship this year, when it comes to football, is the Stansbury Stallions.
Give me a break. This isn't a contest about who can shovel the most corn silage. I like Pine View.
This graph is square. Pretty close. Artemisia is all the sagebrush, but there's your needle and thread. Which one is this?
Come down. Please, right? Sodium carbonate. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Man, we've had a good time today. I know on the radio side we're going to get back to NCAA basketball, but we're not done yet. We got to tally some things up. And before we get into that, wanted to thank Ideal Home and Paint, Bucks Ace, Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, Sullivan Homes, and all of our high school sponsors that allow us at ESPN Radio to do so many broadcasts and highlight our local kids on and off the field. Devin Dixon, Andy Griffin, Andy Thompson. Before we get into the tally, AT, give me a couple quick thoughts on today. It's always fun to get the kids together and talk about everybody, and a lot of excitement to get it back out there and play spring sports.
Obviously, the big theme today was, missing last season and the potential. First of all, I mean, saluting the guys that didn't get to play last year. I feel bad for them. Like I said, I had a daughter who was a senior last year, didn't even get to graduate really. Kudos to everybody that put the effort in to make something of it, but these kids lost their senior years. A lot of guys. I feel so bad for them. That being said, I think experience is going to be an interesting thing this year, Andy, because we have guys who are going to be playing varsity baseball for the first time, even though they're seniors. These are guys that maybe would have got a little PT last year or 2 years ago, and there was no season last year. It's going to be a weird year, I think.
It is. That's a good point. You look at a team like Desert Hills as the defending champions, really only 1 or 2 kids who actually played on that team because of the break. So it's going to be interesting to see these new seniors who haven't played a lot of baseball be the leaders. I mean, it should be an interesting season.
We always talk about how good Region 9 is in football, baseball, softball, soccer. I mean, it really, and now you look forward to next fall with just Cache Valley and Southern Utah being in 4A. I mean, every year we're going to have teams competing, but like we said in basketball, there's so many collegiate athletes that already have scholarships. Guys, we had 7, 8, 9 guys that already have Division I scholarships that joined us on set today. I mean, all 4 Snow Canyon players, already have a scholarship. So, I mean, we're seeing the region be just littered with talent. Let's get to the girls stuff really quickly. We bring in Darren Cole real quickly. Darren did a great job helping us out and putting together some of the girls softball preseason stuff. Darren, give us a quick rundown.
Well, one thing, because of the short season last year and this year, 5 out of the 8 coaches are new. we had 3 new ones last year, 2 with this year. So, and they didn't really know the other team. So we just based on the preseason, some of the players that really stand out is the one I like the most is Cambry Stewart. She's the catcher for Snow Canyon. And Snow Canyon, I think, they're probably going to be the #1 team in region, though Canyon View, they had that strong freshman class 2 years ago. They're juniors now. They're 6-1 in preseason. They also look very good. And Crimson Cliffs is 9-2. So I think those 3 teams will have a say on who's going to win. And Pine View is they got the new coach, Donald Glover, who used to play at Dixie State.
Yes.
They're 4-4 preseason. They got some really strong seniors, Lexi Tueller and Marion McClellan, Coach McClellan's daughter, both playing well in the preseason. So they're right, maybe just a tad below those other 3 teams.
And if you do want to keep up on some of the softball, baseball, and all of the local sports, Darren does a great job on SouthernUtahNow.com, SoUtahNow.com. You can get recaps on all these games. He'll have a story on today's media day, probably sometime later tonight. Without wasting any more time, let's bring back in Andy Griffin. The floor is yours, Andy. Run down our all-region teams, and let's talk about the order of finish and the MVP race.
First of all, kudos to Darren for helping add these up. As I was on camera, I couldn't do the math as much as I'd like to, but Darren put it all together, gathered the results. Surprisingly to me, guys, Snow Canyon got every single first place vote in the Region 9 poll. Obviously, they're picked to win the region. Does that surprise you?
Doesn't surprise me. They're loaded. They're absolutely loaded. Not to say somebody can't beat them, but they are on paper the real deal, man. They are just top to bottom. Their pitching staff, their rotation is great. And then they got guys 1 through 9 that can swing it, so it doesn't shock me, no. But we'll see. Can they go undefeated? That's a whole other question.
Desert Hills picked second, 74 total points. Most of those, I think, out of the 11 ballots, I think 9 of them are for second place for Desert Hills. Picked third is Dixie High. Pineview picked fourth. Dixie 63 points. Pineview 55, and then fifth place is Crimson Cliffs, followed by, it looks like, a Cedar, Hurricane, and then Canyon View. Your predicted order of finish.
I wouldn't be surprised, though, if Canyon View could get up to fifth. 2019, before the shutdown, they were fifth place, I think, under Coach Jacobson. So yeah. They might surprise some people there.
How about the players, guys? Any thoughts? Well, I'll go ahead and I'll tell you the answer, and then you can react to them. The preseason MVPs on 10 ballots, Brighton Oaks and Mason Strong.
Yeah, I mean, good for them. I would have thought Landon Fry would have been the guy.
9 out of 10. 9 votes there.
Who forgot about Landon Fry?
9 out of 11, actually. There were 11 total ballots.
No one was on every ballot. It's so close. Wow. We have so many great players, and that's a tribute to the staffs and the coaches. But, yeah, I mean, Oaks can swing it, man. And Mason, going to BYU, unbelievably talented player and a catcher. And there's a reason why Mike Littlewood and his staff want him to go up there and play for the Cougs.
Your thoughts on those names?
Chandler Reber, I see, got a bunch of votes too, 9. He's been in the weight room. I mean, we remember him from the championship team. He's going to have an awesome year this year too.
Other big vote getters, Trayton Staley from Pineview, Jackson McElprang, Colby White from Cedar City got quite a few votes. Karsten Herman, another guy with a lot of votes. Maze Mosier, Isaac Lyon, we know, obviously his pedigree.
Yeah, he can pitch it, but he's hitting over 330 right now too, and he's only a junior. So
his dad was a heck of a hitter, even though he made it to the majors as a pitcher. So
yeah, but he wasn't a hitter in the majors. He had 1 career hit,
right?
But he only got 2 at bats.
500. That's pretty dang good.
Don't quote me on that, but I'm going off memory on that one.
All right.
The top 10, the first team, any of them could be the MVP. Really, the preseason poll is a lot of fun, but I want to see who's going to be the MVP at the end of the regular season. That's what matters to me. That's what I'm excited about, because the stats and the games and your win-loss record, all these things are going to factor in. It's going to be a lot of fun to see it play out. Starting tomorrow. We got games tomorrow, guys.
Yeah, let's get after it, huh? It's good to have baseball back. I mean, that's the big thing, is we didn't have baseball last year.
Yeah, and softball and track and soccer and girls golf. Girls golf was the one team, but because it was sanctioned by the UGA, they got a state tournament in, but they didn't have all their normal tournaments. But, you felt bad for everybody that missed their spring season. We're out of time. To get you the full rundown on the first team and second team, we'll get that story out on SoUtahNow.com as well as on SportsRadio977.com. We'll get that on our social media. For Andy, Darren, Andy, everybody here, Marcus, James, good night. Hope you enjoyed our Region 9 Baseball Media Day. could have used